So again, it was repeated. The woman went to the district engineer's office naked, and he fled her and never returned. The boreholes were repaired. So sometimes I don't want to overemphasize the point that women have been traditionally, been silent about this, or have been neglected, or have not been included in water management. All what we need to do is to give them that support and power to continue fighting for their inclusion in the water regime. Again, talking of water, when we were in the village, one of the localities decided to build a dam. So I decided to visit and work with them and find out what was going on. And when I was there, I realized that 90% of the work was being done by women. What you see is women carrying rocks up the hill to build this dam. But after the dam is finished, it's owned by the men. So that was another interesting thing. But the women continued to fight back. And I remember that a few years later, there was some work to be done on this dam. And the women refused to participate. There was almost anarchy in the village between men and women. And the fact was, the women were overfishing and even sometimes using chemicals to fish in the river in this dam, to the extent that the women can no longer use the water for household. So they decided that they were not going to participate in it. So it was resolved, and the men agreed that they were no longer going to fish or use chemicals to fish in the river. So basically, women are fighting back, knowing that water is part of their life. So here again, I just want to give you an overrun of women have not just only fetching the water, but when they bring the water home, most of the work has to be done by them. Cooking in sub-Saharan Africa, here I'm talking of rural conditions. In the urban center, things are changing. Men are beginning to participate in activities who were traditionally men. So, when I went from my village to university in Ghana, that was the first time I learned how to cook. So when you are in the city, you learn how to cook, and probably when you go back, you may not still have a plate, but at least in the city it's different. It has a different dynamic. So washing has to be done by them, and so forth. So essentially, everything is not just about fetching the water. It's not about just looking for the water, but other activities that combined with water increase the burden of women. So essentially, getting access to water, potable, safe water, is essential for women's life. And actually, there are other cases which I have not yet, I'm still pursuing, that are related to maternal issues. Sometimes women die because they are pregnant and have been imposed to unsafe water, or sometimes in the process they overwork themselves when they are pregnant and they have miscarriage. So the water situation is linked to a lot of things. So trying to run out. So essentially, what I'm saying here is that women in sub-Saharan Africa know that water is related to every day of their life, and they are fighting back. What they need from NGOs, the international community, is to help them fight back, is not to come and say they are coming to teach them how to use water. Women women know how to use water. They know what is clean water from my observation and what is dirty water. And they do the best in terms of cost-benefit analysis. They still boil water, which is a traditional practice. They talk of sick water or dirty water, and therefore they know a lot about water and they know what they need. So what they need is not boardroom packages for water delivery and so forth. And essentially, the last part of it, which I know my colleague Abu will be talking about, is how the impact of water privatization is actually going to worsen the situation. I am not against water privatization per se, but if we recognize that the UN in 2002 acknowledged that water is a basic right, then we have to rethink how we are going to privatize water and for who. So thank you.